Hey, everyone. Welcome back. This is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini from the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. And this is a very sort of special interview. You guys know that I do interviews with bands and people in the music industry. And you can catch up with all of that on our website at LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. But whenever we get a sponsor, we try to, to help them market their business and to help them promote what they're doing. We always want to do an interview with a sponsor so that you guys can get a good idea about the people who are helping us bring you this great music and these great interviews. And today I'm talking with Bill Thomas. He's part of the staff at McNeilly Beer. And McNeilly Beer is our latest sponsor, our new sponsor at the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. And they are located at 441 McNeely Road in Pittsburgh. That's in the South Hills. So if you're South Hills folks, you know right where that is, and you can check them out. But I've got Bill Thomas on the phone. He's a part of the staff there, and he's going to tell us all about McNeilly Beer. Bill, welcome to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, so let's. So the McNeilly Beer has been around for a little while. So why don't you give me a little bit of history of McNeilly Beer and what it's all about?
Sure. Yeah, we've been actually in the location that we're at there on McNeely Road for about 3 years. It is a craft beer six-pack shop. We carry about 800 varieties of beer, just right around there. We carry domestics, imports, craft, ciders, pretty much if you can name it, we probably have it in the store, or if we don't have it, we can probably get it for you. So we try to keep a very wide variety available to those who come in.
Hey Bill, what is a craft beer?
Started going out, you had more or less 3 main American breweries and maybe a couple of import places like Guinness or Heineken, and in the probably last 10-15 years, there's been an explosion of folks who haven't been happy with that mass-produced product, and so they've turned to making things at home, and that's exploded and expanded to where we now have, actually right now in America, we just passed the mark where we have more breweries than we did at pre-Prohibition time. So craft beer is more or less, not always, but most of the time a small batch product or smaller batch product, not macro-produced, a little more experimentation. So you'll see some odd combinations of things with chili peppers in it or peaches and all sorts of things being done in bourbon barrels or wine barrels, where there's a lot more variety and a lot more experimentation that gives people opportunities to explore different styles and types of beer.
Okay, now there are different styles of craft beers: Pilsner, lagers, porters, stouts, IPAs, sours, wheat. Why don't you pick a couple of those and give us a little bit of description on what they're? Are these variations on how they're made, or the taste, or both, or what is this?
Yeah. You take a look at, for example, lagers or pilsners. That's your traditional type beers. Those are some of the older styles that are out there. They're more on the mild side as far as bitterness, maltier. They taste a little more, a lot of times, caramely. Whereas if you move into like an IPA, you're going to get a more pronounced hop or bitter taste to that. Stouts tend to be most of the time a higher ABV, but not always, and that's alcohol by volume measurement. That is warmer, typically drank in the winter time. Not always. Sour beers are just that. They're good to have a more sour, where wheat beers are a lot of times unfiltered, and they are often a Belgian style brewing.
Bill, make sure you talk like real directly into the microphone, brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're kind of getting a little off mic there. So those are the different sort of styles, and so those just depends on sort of the person's personal taste as to what they're going to like. Now, does your staff there, would they be able to maybe help somebody out if they came in and said, gee, I don't know, do I want a wheat or do I want a stout? Do you have people there that can help them out with this?
Absolutely, and you're exactly right. It's really a matter of personal taste. You know, when you look at a bottle, traditionally people look at how many calories are in it, and that's what they base their choices on a lot of times. And that's still important, but there's some information on the label that you can pick up that might help guide you towards what you like. Usually on every beer there's an IBU rating, which is an International Bitterness Unit rating. That tells you how bitter it's going to be. So if you're someone who likes something on the sweet side or mild and you don't like that bitter hoppiness, you don't want to find a beer with a 75 or an 80 IBU, because that's going to indicate to you that, hey, this is going to be bitter, and this is going to be something more along the style of an IPA or an Imperial or something like that.
Okay.
That's going to be a little bit more hoppy and a little more bitter bite to it. Whereas if you see something that's a 15 or a 20, that's going to be a little smoother, maybe even on the, maybe not necessarily the sweet side, but more mild, I would say. And another important...
Well, you were talking about the designations on the bottles. What is ABV?
ABV, yeah, I actually mentioned that a bit ago, and that's a good point because, traditional macro brewed beers tend to come in 4 to 5% ABV or alcohol by volume.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Yeah, now I know what you said. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're looking at a craft beer bottle, paying attention to the ABV or the alcohol by volume is important because, craft beer, you do want to be responsible. And there are some ABV ratings that come in at 10, 11, and 12%. You're used to drinking a 4 or 5% ABV. You don't want to be having 3 or 4 of those 10 or 11 or 12 out in public.
Not that you're going to be doing any driving anytime soon.
That could lead to problems, absolutely. But as far as your question, we do have staff members there who be more than happy to talk to you about, hey, what do you like? Or if you explore this. And a good way to do that, we offer... we have 6-packs, we have 12-packs, like a traditional store, but we also offer mix and match where you have walls of single beers. And you can come in there and say, I like this particular brand. Well, we'll help you to pick out a few of those, and you can pick and choose 6 individual beers or 3 of one style and 3 of another, put those together, and actually when you do that mix and match, you get a 20% discount off the total. So that's a real nice opportunity to try something new. Maybe something, you like this. This is pretty close. We'll help you find something close. Maybe this is way off the line, but you might want to try it. Live a little bit. But we'll be glad to help you put that together. And, again, you get 20% off when you do that mix and match. And that's a real nice way to try something new without having to buy a whole case, drinking 2 beers and going, oh, this is awful. I hate it.
Yeah. Nobody was. Okay, let me ask you, I'll just on a personal note for myself. Okay, I don't like stuff that's like really bitter. All right, but say I come in there and I'm like, I don't want, I'm not looking for, a Budweiser or, something like that. I'm looking for something like a little more, a craft beer. I'm looking for something that's not too bitter, not really too bitter, and I don't want something that's too heavy, and I don't want something that's got like a fruit taste. So, what brands or what would you recommend there?
Well, if you're looking for something bitter, but you're not wanting something way over the top, but you want some flavor to it, something like a Session IPA, like an all-day IPA by Founders, for example, would be a great one. It's got a nice IPA flavor to it. It's a lower alcohol content. I think it's around 4.5-5%. So you can go through your daily activities and still have that nice, IPA bitter, hoppy beer taste. So that might be a great answer for you on that one.
What do you mean by? Now I hear people say this too. People say it's not too hoppy. What does that mean? Does that have to do with bitter or?
Yeah, that does. Typically, the hop. You have 2 types of beers. You have a lager and a pilsner type that is a malt-based or a malt-forward flavor, I should say. Whereas then you have your IPAs and other more hop-forward or hop. That's the leading flavor, if you will. Okay. So malt is more of a caramely or a sweet, and then a hop is more of a bitter or sometimes a juicy or citrusy flavor. Those are the characteristics that would typically follow those styles.
Okay. Now you mentioned we were talking about alcohol by volume. How does that, or does it? And maybe there's no comparison. If somebody's used to drinking liquor and they have on the bottles, proof, 100 proof, 80 proof. So how does that number translate to proof, or does it?
It probably runs parallel. So the higher ABV would be the higher proof. And obviously the lower the ABV or the more low number you see there would be the lower number proof bottle. So as far as an actual ratio, I don't have that for you, but it parallels in that manner.
Okay. Now at McNeilly Beer, is there a place to kind of like maybe sit down and have a drink there, or is it takeout only?
Yeah, the majority of our business is takeout, and like I said, we do lots of 6 and 12s of the macro breweries, the Buds, the Coors, the Millers, and that sort of thing. We have a lot of that in stock, and we sell a ton of that.
I was just asking because I was looking at my notes here, and I thought I saw something here about you guys don't have like a tables where people can sit down or anything. It's just all takeout then?
No, we do. We do.
Okay.
I was going to get that. I actually switched hands because my arm was getting tired, and that's probably why I faded out on it. I can start answering that question again if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's start there.
Okay. So we do have a lot of our business is takeout. Probably the majority of it is, coming in and getting a 6 or 12 pack and taking it home with you. But we do have a bar. We have tables and chairs where you can sit and have a beer there. We actually have drafts that you can grab one of those and have that while you're shopping or watching the game. We do gourmet hot dogs on site. We have a whole menu of that sort of thing. And we also have more than welcome to come in and hang out and enjoy the company of the employees.
So what are your hours of operation over there?
Sunday through Thursday, we are there 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturday, we're there till 2 a.m.
Oh, okay, nice. Now, this McNeely, what is that? What was the address again?
441 McNeely Road.
Now, what is that considered? Is that considered Castle Shannon? What is that considered?
Yeah, it's right in between Brookline, and it's actually considered Baldwin Township.
It's actually considered like the Baldwin area, South Hills, Baldwin area.
Township.
Baldwin Township.
Yep.
Okay, and Bill, is there anything else you'd like folks to know about McNeilly Beer?
Love to have you stop in and talk beer with us, or come in and check out the supplies. Got a lot to offer, and hopefully we'll be seeing you guys and some of your listeners soon.
And that is McNeillyBeer.com. Now, you guys you have a Facebook page or something? Where's the best place where people can check to see if maybe you got specials or something going on?
Yeah, the best thing to do is go to our Facebook page, which is McNeilly Beer 6-packs and more. That's the most up-to-date information. We'll list when we're doing free samplings there. We'll list if we're doing bomber blowouts, whatever specials we may be running.
And this is the winter time here. So what's typically the most popular beers for this season, the winter season?
Well, for winter time, typically stouts and porters are real big. They pick up in popularity as opposed to the summertime because they tend to be a heavier beer. Mm-hmm. IPAs have become a year-round thing. That's probably the most popular style right now. But believe it or not, even though we just had snow, the spring beers are starting to come in. We've actually got spring beers in already, yeah.
What are some of the spring beers to give people a little preview?
You'll see like a Trogs Nugget Nectar's in right now. We've got Stone Brewing out of California comes in out with some specialty beers that they one off every spring. So we've got a red IPA in right now. You see Bell's Oberon coming in any day, so it's a real popular one. That's probably the number one spring beer, I would say. But that'll be in. So Hob Juju by Fatheads will be coming in here any day, so we'll be seeing more of that as well.
All right, so we're already that's great, because we're in the Pittsburgh area, we're always like, man, please, winter. Groundhog, do something for us, right? Get us out of this thing.
Any
so
sign
that's great to be thinking about spring.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And the address is 441 McNeely Road, Pittsburgh. And the phone number, if you guys are in the Pittsburgh area, is 412-563-2337 or 563-BEER. Cool that you got that. And you can get Twitter is at McNeilly Beer. and the website is McNeillyBeer.com, and that is MCN. For those of you that don't know, it's the spelling, but McNeely is a kind of a popular name in the Pittsburgh area. It's MCNEILLY. It's McNeilly Beer. Hey, Bill, thanks so much for taking some time to talk to us about craft beers and about this very cool place here right in our neighborhood, McNeilly Beer. And from what I understand, it's not too far from where our friend Pittsburgh Kevin hails from, right?
It's less than 2 blocks from Pittsburgh Kevin's birthplace. That's exactly right. He's a regular.
These are Pittsburgh Kevin's regular. Well, that's good to see you guys stop in there. You might run into Pittsburgh Kevin. You never know. Bill
maybe
Thomas,
we'll put up an autograph session with him.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Bill Thomas from McNeilly Beer, and once again, that is 441 McNeely Road, Pittsburgh, PA. Bill, thank you so much for taking some time and to talk to us today about this. And we will be in touch with you, and we'll get this out to all the fans, and they should be, really excited to hear about this. Very, very interesting, man. I did not know about all the ins and outs and the sort of different styles of beer. So, I mean, beer's come a long way.
Yeah, it has.
It really has. All right, my man. Well, you have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Sure.